Heaven. What believers will see first? The first thing you notice is not light, it is clarity. Not the sharpness of sight, but the sudden absence of confusion. Fear dissolves. Questions fall silent. The weight you carried your entire life, expectations, regrets, unfinished thoughts, drops away in a single, irreversible moment. You realize you are no longer bound to time, and whatever lies ahead is not unfamiliar, it is awaited. Before we go any further, like this video, share it with someone who needs hope beyond this life, and subscribe to The Bible Project for more cinematic Bible stories brought to life. What believers see first in heaven is not speculation, not imagination shaped by art, and not wishful thinking. Scripture gives us fragments, visions, moments, encounters that, when woven together, form a picture more powerful than anything we could invent. And once you see it, heaven stops being distant. It becomes certain. The Bible never describes heaven as an abstract place. It describes it as a realm ordered, intentional, alive. The first thing believers encounter is presence. Not a location, not architecture, not streets or gates. Presence. Paul writes that to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. Not later, not after a delay, immediately. The transition from earth to heaven is not disorientation, it is arrival. Conscious, aware, unmistakable arrival. This is why Scripture never describes believers wandering aimlessly after death. There is no confusion, no searching, no silence. The soul is drawn like gravity, responding to something greater into the presence of God Himself. And in that presence, something extraordinary happens. You recognize Him, not because you have seen His face before, but because your soul has always known Him. Faith becomes sight. Trust becomes confirmation. Every prayer whispered into uncertainty suddenly makes sense. Then comes light, not light that shines on things, but light that comes from everything. John struggles to describe it in Revelation, reaching for comparisons. Jasper, crystal, fire refracted through precious stone. There is no sun, no shadow, no darkness waiting at the edges. Light does not illuminate heaven. Light is heaven. And yet, it does not blind. It does not overwhelm. It does not demand that you look away. Instead, it feels like home, like truth without threat, like seeing without fear of what will be revealed. This light exposes nothing to shame, because shame does not exist there. Then believers see the throne, not hidden, not distant, not symbolic. A throne set at the center of everything. Scripture consistently places the throne before anything else, not the city, not the angels, not the worship. Because heaven is not defined by beauty, it is defined by authority, and the one seated on the throne is not frantic, not hurried, not reacting. He is ruling, surrounded by worship that never grows tired, never fades, never needs to be summoned. Angels cry, "Holy," not because they are commanded to, but because holiness demands response. This is where many are surprised. The first thing believers notice is not activity, it is peace. Heaven is not loud chaos. It is ordered glory. Power without tension. Authority without threat. The chaos of earth does not follow you there. The war is over. Then believers become aware of recognition. Jesus speaks of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob being known. He tells of a thief recognized and welcomed. Scripture assumes something profound. Identity is not erased in heaven, it is fulfilled. You know, you are known. Relationships are not lost. They are restored without jealousy, without regret, without misunderstanding. Love exists without fear of loss. Unity exists without effort. And most importantly, you are fully yourself for the first time. Sin is gone, not managed, not restrained, gone. The struggle that defined your inner life dissolves. The pull toward what you hated doing no longer exists. Obedience is no longer effort, it is instinct. This is why Scripture calls heaven rest, not inactivity, completion. Then comes worship, but not as you experienced it on earth. There is no striving to feel something, no waiting for atmosphere, no wondering if God is near. Worship is not something you do. It is something that happens because you are there. Revelation shows crowns being laid down, not taken away. Authority willingly surrendered because nothing compares to the one before whom you stand. Worship is not loss, it is joy without ego. And here is the detail that often goes unnoticed. Heaven is not centered on believers. It is centered on Christ. The Lamb who was slain stands alive, bearing wounds not as scars of defeat, but as trophies of love. The cross is not erased in heaven. It is honored. Redemption is remembered. This is why heaven never forgets earth, because earth explains grace. But what believers see first is not judgment. Judgment comes later. Scripture is clear about that. Heaven first is welcome. Jesus told his disciples, "I go to prepare a place for you," not a concept, not a metaphor, a place, personal, intentional. And when believers arrive, they are not evaluated, they are embraced. The accounting of rewards comes later. The settling of history comes later. Heaven first is reunion, safety, belonging. This is why Scripture describes angels escorting believers. Not dragging, not forcing, escorting like honored guests arriving home. So why does the Bible tell us this? Not to detach us from earth, but to anchor us in hope. Heaven is not revealed to make life meaningless. It is revealed to make suffering survivable, to remind believers that nothing endured in faith is wasted, that no loss is permanent, that death is not the end, it is the doorway. What believers see first is not spectacle. It is assurance that every promise was true, that every sacrifice mattered, that every tear was counted, and that God was never absent, only ahead. If this vision stirred hope in you, grounded your faith, or reminded you that this life is not the final chapter, stay with us. Subscribe to the Bible Project for more cinematic journeys into Scripture, because the Bible doesn't just tell us how the story ends. It tells us what we are walking toward.